What's up, guys? Iggy here with Faltacunlimited. P80 build. That's what we're doing today. So we're doing the P80 build for the Glock 17, which is this guy. And it just so happens to pull out my mold for the regular Glock 17. Now, question is, can you use one instead of the other? Here's the answer. Yes and no. So if we take our calipers, right, and we notice these are the same size lengthwise, as you can see. But if you measure from top of slide to bottom of rail on the Glock 17, we're at 1.417. So 1.417. Let's write this down so we don't forget here. 1.417 for the G17. And for the poly, from top of slide to bottom of rail, we're at 1.5 even. Now, what does this tell us? This tells us a couple things. In theory, if you have a Glock 80 build, you're doing it with a flashlight, like we are doing here, you can form this holster and it will fit this gun. But you cannot use this gun to fit this holster. Why? Because this is bigger than this. So, no big deal, but it's useful information because just like the Filster floodlight, those are flashlight, but any body. So, in all theory, is you can do any particular handgun with that type of flashlight. So it's the same. It's the same stuff. And once you realize that, then you could do a lot more. For example, if you take a holster for a 320 with a light, it'll actually fit a Glock in it because the Glock is smaller than the 320. And anything along those lines will work for you. But today's video is going to be a paddle holster for the Poly 80 with Olight Baldr Pro. This looks cool. So let's get started. So that was a good thing. I went ahead and re-looked at the order. This customer ordered the Olight Baldr Pro, which is this one. I do have the Pro R, which is not listed, and in the notes and the special instructions, he says that he has the Baldr Pro R, which means this one had to come off, and we're going to be installing this one. No big deal, but good idea to check with the manufacturer prior to that, just in case they have it. Luckily, I have this one, so I'm not too worried about it, and we're going to go ahead and take care of it for this guy. And it's going to be a simpler build. But let's do it. Here we go. Glock 17 Poly 80 build. Again, with this guy. Special instructions also say suppressor height sights, threaded barrel, Baldr Pro with this guy. And which means we're going to have to drill this and install one of our sockets, which is no big deal. And then gonna have to add a piece of blocking for suppressor height sights because this will not suffice. So, but we got actually kind of nice setup actually. All right, this is a Cook's mold. I never recommend them unless it's literally the last option on earth. If you notice, I don't know if I cut that or it broke. Looks like it's broken. The mag release right here. So we're gonna have to build that up, but because we're doing a flashlight, this is actually gonna cover that, so no big deal on that end. Suppressor height sights means we're gonna put something here. Everything else is gonna be normal. So let's just get to it. You have the option when blocking to block out the gas pedal. You honestly don't really have to. With the amount of tape that we put on, the 5 layers, it's perfectly acceptable. And it will create a little bit of retention, but I'm not too worried because the type of flashlight we're using. The only thing we got to remember is we have to block out pretty much this right here because there is a potential that this can get locked onto it. So, no big D. All right, so get some the taping. There's my 5 layers. I'll flip it and do another 5. Go ahead. Now that I have the bench a little bit more organized, I got to find where I put everything now, because I literally put it all in bins and all that fun stuff. So, but I am digging the extra space. I had to swap out the mat, as you can see, with this mat, and it's so much better. That attached. And the blocking for the OLED I usually use. I could hear my dog snoring. That is adorable. They're sitting in the quote-unquote sun. Now that it's afternoon here. And the wintertime, sun's starting to go away. Alright, and we just want to make sure it's parallel, and that is not parallel. So let's do that again. And we'll do this just so we know it doesn't bend on us. There we go. We'll flip it and do the other side. This is probably going to be a 2 foam job, which reminds me, I'm going to go ahead and put the foam underneath to warm it up. There we go. And I believe this is, oh, it's infantry green, so it'll look good. All right, and we need the extra bar. I like to squish these together. All right, and because this particular mold came blocked, obviously it is already blocked for this guy, and the only thing we have to do is add this right here. You can do one of 2 things. You can cut this off and add a taller piece, or you can just go ahead and add an extra 1/4 inch of material there. And that's that right there. And this is just a 1/4 inch piece of HDPE, and that we're just gonna put right there. And paddle mount. So we have to figure out where we're going to put the paddle. We have, you always want to look at the trigger guard. The trigger's coming right here. So it'll be right there. And so we're going to mount this right around here. So we will take our blocking for that, which this G-code, I just used this guy right here, and we will place that on this blocking and then put a piece underneath there to hold it up, which this cut dowel works perfectly. And at that point, so your dowel doesn't fall out when you pick up the mold, which that has happened to me before, you just tape it in place like so. And then tape the rest of the blocking down. Oh, almost forgot threaded barrel. So now I'm gonna have to cut that and take care of that. If you don't know how to choose which bit you need for your screw, then here's how you do it. Get a drill bit that's the size of the shaft, and there you go. That simple. And all we're going to do here, it's going to be hard to mark the center of this, so I'm actually going to take one of my Dremel bits to flatten this out. And then we're just going to drill right in the center, and then this is going to pop right on there, and we'll be all set. So I'll flatten that out, and then mark it, drill it. Next time you see it, it'll have a threaded barrel. And there we have it. Threaded barrel is on. You don't want to strip it, but make sure it is centered. Right. And if we look at that, that looks good. And next is going to be the retention plate. And we are also going to have to put just a little something right here, just so those don't get caught on anything. That could be something as simple as a piece of blocking, like that. And as long as it doesn't go down in, you are perfectly fine. So, put that down as far as I can go. All right, and there's that. You, in all technicality, can you can take like a dowel, you know, something a lot thicker than this. That's the same diameter as the charging port, and make it so you could actually go ahead and charge it while it's in the holster. You can do that, but yeah. So anyways, get this going. All right, guys, the Glock 17 Poly 80 with the Baldr R is now in the press. I got the infantry green going on. I got my second layer of Kydex on the press so it gets some heat in there. And I have this oven on with it open to get these nice and hot, because I'm not running the heat today because here in New Hampshire, it's, well, it's 61 inside my garage, and it's just under that outside. It's awesome. But we got apparently 2 feet of snow coming on Friday, so we'll see how that goes, because I'm going to be at a gun show in Maine. So, yeah. But anyways, we got about 100 seconds left, and then we're going to throw it in the press, and the next time you're going to see it, it's going to be out and looking like this. And I'm not going to lie, infantry green actually looks pretty good. Here is fresh out of the foam. I mean, look at, God, for foam, just look at that. Yeah, that looks good. So, let's cut it and make this guy's holster. All right, since everything's off and ready to go, go ahead and do this. Gotta get my pencil. And again, this is a outside there some paddle, so this is just going to mount right here. We'll just go ahead and put those screw mounts in there so we know. And we'll line this up. Hard to do this one-handed. There you go. And we'll just draw that right there so we know. To your sweat shield. And we're going to have, let's see here, we'll do retention here. Here's the retention spot right here. So I like to do one in front and then one behind. So we'll do that one right there. And we could either come down this way, or we could go down. You could do any one of those. And then for this, I think we're going to cut it flush with the muzzle. And that'll come straight up. Like so. All right, so I'll drill and cut. I'm gonna take our Noga and clean the inside of this. Everything went good, looks good, feels good. Check the fitment. And just cleaning it up with some rem oil. And we're gonna go ahead, throw some bolts in, retention, and then mount this, and we're good to go. All right, we have retention, bada bang, smaller screws for the paddle. So 3/8, 0.4375, 1/8 inch quarter. So let's do this first. Get these in here. That took way too long to get the screw on there. All right. Oh! A little too much, so we'll let off on that. But what a beautiful sound that was. Oh yeah. All right, then we'll go ahead and do this. Oh, that makes me hot in the crotch. All right. And these I don't Loctite because the paddles have adjustable cants built into them. So that's why I'm using 3/8 with quarters and 1/8 inch. You got to tighten it pretty good. And I tighten them so they're flush on the inside there. So there it is in, oh, I gotta do a little bit more sanding here. Get that little piece off. But in infantry green, nice outside the waistband with the G code for the Glock 17 Poly 80 threaded barrel with the brand new Olight Baldr Pro. Hell yeah. A couple things that are now available on the website that I think are pretty freaking awesome is number one, if you have a TLR7 sub and people are mounting it to Hellcats, but you can't do a holster for it, well, let me show you this. I now offer, for just a couple bucks, a 3D printed rail key, which will fit right in here. And then it allows you to mount this to your Hellcat. The way I'm doing it now, whoever orders a Hellcat with TLR7 sub with the 1913 rail, if you order it on my website, you'll get that key for free because that's how the holster is going to be made. And that's for now on. Or you could order it individually for a couple bucks a piece. Number two, I like this. Plan B turned me onto them, and now I'm manufacturing them. So I have this version of a tool that comes in handy. It is it's an MRD tool. So if you are folding shells and you don't have an MRD handy or anything like that, this will literally, it lines up and then goes right in place. So those holes, it's spaced like you should. Round is on the bottom, and you just put it in there and you fold the shell around it, and you don't need any MRDs to do that. And then you could also take it and put your clamp right over it as well. So that is needed. Those are now live on my website as well. I have a couple made. I'm going to use them. I'm going to demo them. And like I said, I'm going to offer them to you guys as well. So see those on the website. Order them anytime, any day, whatever. Before I forget, I bought another flashlight. It was needed. Customer called me asking for it. Apparently, SIG has the new Foxtrot 1X. So here it is right here. I am a dealer for them. If you need one, let me know. My price is like, I think my price is $75 plus shipping, which isn't bad. I think they go for like $160, something like that. But anyways, so the Foxtrot 1X, it is going to be added to my website, so I will have it as an option to go ahead and start doing holsters with this flashlight as well. I have a pile of flashlights I have to add to it. And with the new bench setup, I am probably going to 3D print a mount for all of these so everything has its place. Because right now, this sucks. I had to do another Kydex storage and go from there. But anyways, thank you again for watching this video. I appreciate all of you. And if you learned anything, go ahead, do a like, a subscribe, a bell, whatever you guys want to do. Even a thumbs down. I don't care because it helps. But go out there, make some money, have some fun, make something safe, be good, have fun, bye. Boop.